The psychology of a child who grew up too fast. Have you ever met someone who seemed mature far beyond their years? A child who rarely played, rarely complained, and always seemed to understand more than they should? In a world where childhood is meant to be carefree, these children stand out as unusually responsible, quiet, and emotionally alert. People often praise them as strong, wise, or independent, without realizing what that maturity may have cost them. Psychology tells us that growing up too fast isn't always a gift. Sometimes it's a survival strategy. When a child is forced into adulthood early, their mind adapts in powerful but complex ways. Let's break down the real psychology behind children who grew up too fast, and how early responsibility shapes who they become. Number 1. Early responsibility, not early strength. Children who grow up too fast are often given responsibilities far beyond their age. They may have cared for siblings, managed household stress, or emotionally supported adults before they were ready. From the outside, this looks like strength, but psychologically, it's adaptation. These children learn quickly that their needs come second and that being reliable is safer than being vulnerable. They mature not because they want to, but because they have to. While others were allowed to make mistakes, they learned to be careful, observant, and controlled. Their responsibility isn't a badge of honor, it's a response to pressure. What looks like independence is often a child's learning that no one else will step in. Number 2. Emotional awareness developed too early. A child who grows up too fast often becomes highly emotionally aware at a young age. They learn to read moods, sense tension, and anticipate reactions long before they understand their own feelings. This heightened awareness helps them navigate unstable environments, but it also forces them to suppress their emotions. They become experts at managing others while neglecting themselves. Over time, they may struggle to identify what they feel because their attention was always focused outward. Psychology shows that these children often confuse emotional awareness with emotional responsibility. They knew how everyone else felt, but were never taught that their feelings mattered just as much. Number 3. Self-reliance built from necessity. Children who grow up too fast learn one powerful lesson early. Don't depend on anyone. They become self-reliant not out of confidence, but out of experience. Asking for help may have led to disappointment, neglect, or dismissal, so they stopped asking altogether. As adults, this often shows up as extreme independence, difficulty trusting others, a reluctance to lean on support, and a belief that they must handle everything alone. While this self-sufficiency can look admirable, it often hides deep exhaustion. Psychology explains that this pattern forms when a child learns that survival depends on doing things themselves. Independence becomes armor, not freedom. Number 4. Lost innocence and suppressed needs. Growing up too fast often means skipping important stages of emotional development. These children don't get the chance to be careless, playful, or openly needy. Their innocence is replaced with vigilance. They learn to suppress desires, minimize needs, and avoid being a burden. As adults, they may struggle with rest, play, or self-compassion, feeling guilty for slowing down or prioritizing themselves. Psychologists note that unmet childhood needs don't disappear, they go quiet. This can lead to inner conflict later in life, where the adult feels capable but emotionally unfulfilled. What was never allowed to exist as a child waits to be acknowledged later. Number 5. Strength mixed with hidden fragility. Children who grew up too fast often become remarkably capable adults. They are responsible, thoughtful, resilient, and dependable. But beneath that strength often lies unprocessed grief for the childhood they didn't get to have. They may struggle with burnout, emotional numbness, or feeling disconnected from joy. Psychologists emphasize that strength built through survival is different from strength built through safety. These individuals don't break easily, but they may not rest easily either. Their challenge isn't learning how to endure hardship, it's learning that they no longer have to. Healing begins when they realize that adulthood doesn't require constant self-sacrifice. Final thoughts. So when you meet someone who seems unusually mature, composed, or old for their age, pause before calling them lucky or gifted. They may have grown strong too early because they had no other choice. A child who grew up too fast learned how to survive, not how to be a child. Understanding their psychology isn't about pity, it's about compassion. They don't need to prove their strength anymore. They deserve rest, softness, and the freedom to grow at their own pace, even if that growth comes later in life. That's the quiet psychology of those who carried adulthood long before they were ready.